So yesterday I made a video about Arsenal being interested in Benjamin Sesko, who is dubbed as the next Erling Haaland. But what I found interesting was the comments in that video. Arsenal fans were spamming the comments saying they want Victor Gyokeres. So it made me think, is this guy Victor Gyokeres even that good? Because I'm going to be honest, before I did this video I wasn't a big fan of him and I was so confused about the hype he has. But wow, as I continued to look for issues with this player, I just couldn't find anything. I went from seeing if he was consistent to seeing if he even has any moments in games which would put anybody off. But I just found that this guy is actually incredible, and it's surprising it took him so long to reach the peak of his powers at Sporting Lisbon. Even in the Championship, I found this guy bagging goals in 2 consecutive seasons. I couldn't even put the argument forward that this guy couldn't even be consistent in the Championship, because he's just carrying on what he was doing there with Sporting Lisbon, showing that he can transfer his skills at the highest levels. I even went to looking in depth in his game to see any limitations. But what I actually found is his tactical understanding as a number 9 is absolutely ridiculous. Beyond his technical and physical abilities, Gyokeres also demonstrates a keen tactical understanding of the game. He possesses the ability to read the flow of the match, anticipate movements and position himself strategically to capitalize on scoring opportunities. Gyokeres' intelligence really surprised me, and his awareness on the pitch enables him to make decisive runs and create space for himself and his teammates. And I think we really underrate the ability to be intelligent on the pitch. The smartest players are now starting to succeed. Look at Jorginho, for example. He hasn't really got the physical abilities, but oh my word, is he a genius. He knows what he wants to do before he receives the ball. And imagine the sort of player with that sort of brain, but in the number 9 position. You're just pretty much going to have an all-round player, and that's what I found from Victor Gyokeres. Another thing was his versatility, and Mikel Arteta loves a player who can play in multiple positions. We've seen so many of our players deployed in different areas. Kai Havertz, for example, in the number 8 role and also the number 9 role. Gyokeres actually offers the perfect tactical versatility. There was moments in games for Sporting which I watched where he would just drift over to the left and play there for a long period of time, and it would create chaos. The defenders didn't know if he was still in the number 9 position or if he was actually playing on the wing. So he created overload so many times for Sporting Lisbon. This sort of weapon is just so key for us. Having a striker being able to move across the line is good in itself, but then also having a number 9 who can notice what's happening in a game and tell the others to switch positions. So Martinelli, I think, would benefit from Gyokeres, because there'll be times that Gyokeres will go onto the wing and Martinelli can go central, and we can maximize both of their abilities. I then started to look at big game performances, and I think this is a key thing for me when I'm looking at a number 9. Can you perform on the big stages? We've already seen Kai Havertz is actually a big game player. He performs so well against the big clubs, and I wouldn't want to sign a player who actually doesn't have that sort of ability that Kai Havertz does in those big games. And well, in those big games in Portugal, Gyokeres has been absolutely phenomenal. Benfica, Porto, he's scored against them all. And even in the European competitions, he's been really effective as well. So him being able to stand up for himself, bully the defenders, there's some of the goals he scored against those teams is absolutely out of this world. Sitting down some of the best defenders in the Portuguese division and then having the composure to finish it. I mean, I was just in awe, and it was really eye-opening looking at Gyokeres in depth with a critical eye, because I just couldn't find much. Maybe there was times where his touch would be a bit poor and he was not really holding the ball up as you would want your number 9 to, but it didn't really impact the way he performed throughout the game. And another thing which really surprised me, and just how good it is his ball striking. I mean, some of the shots he gets off in the positions he gets them off is out of this world. I've never seen someone strike a ball with so much power and accuracy like he has done this season, and for Coventry when he was in the Championships. Having a player with this sort of ability who can just open up a game through his excellent technique and power in his shots is crucial, because there will be times when we're playing them low box. We've seen it this season, Fulham, those sort of games, West Ham at home. pretty football won't always work. You almost need somebody who's going to just bring an absolute stunner of a shot and win you the game. And I don't think our front line has that, but Gyokeres certainly does. You don't want to give him space outside the box because this guy, he can really find some just ridiculous angles to find the ball into the back of the net. My only problem with him is the price. I don't really want to be paying a premium price for him because I really do think it would be unfair on Kai Havertz. I think he's been phenomenal, and there was quite a few similarities between Kai Havertz and Gyokeres in their in-behind threat. Maybe the ball striking is the main massive difference between them. But in terms of intelligence, we know Kai Havertz is such an intelligent player, so underrated with his football brain. The way he presses is just out of this world sometimes. And I think we just don't notice it enough. Also, the runs he makes, sometimes I'm just in awe of them. And I don't think you really want to lose that for Gyokeres. Even though Gyokeres will get you more goals, is it really what we need at the minute? Would I sacrifice a number 8 signing for Gyokeres? I don't think so. But I'm not going to complain if we get him because he's a top player. And I think now we're starting to get to those times where we're going to need those players who are a bit mature, have the experience, rather than them young players who are coming with potential. Because we're up against Manchester City, and I'm sorry, the kids won't beat Manchester City. We've seen it so many times, so many seasons with Liverpool, and now we're getting the rub of the Manchester City express train. So Gyokeres, I think he's the man for the job. 80 million. Let me know, guys. Do you think you would really pay 80 million for Gyokeres? I know a lot of you are such big fans of him. I was actually blown away by how many of you really wanted Gyokeres to be the number 9 over Benjamin Sesko. And yeah, in terms of Sesko, although he's maybe not as good as Gyokeres, the ball striking thing is definitely what both players possess. Ridiculous ball striking. And Sesko, we need to just remember he's only 20 years old, and 40 million for the form he's in, I think that would be an absolute bargain. Somebody to be the understudy to Kai Havertz. We don't want somebody to take the place of Kai Havertz because that's just so unfair. And I think the output Kai Havertz has had since moving into that number 9 area is something I don't want to lose. The link up he has with Saka, with Trossard, with Odegaard, with Declan Rice as well, I think it's really, really good. And those dynamics need to stay for next season, certainly. But I think we can all say it's going to be a very interesting transfer window for Arsenal Football Club as we try and get that Premier League title. Unfortunately, I do think it is over now for us this season. But next season, certainly, getting these big hitters, getting these top quality players that can be understudies to our already quality players will be so crucial to bridging the gap. And I do think we can be going even stronger for the Champions League and Premier League and properly build sort of this dynasty and show that for all the brilliant football we play, there's going to be trophies coming with it too. Anyway, Gunners, if you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time, peace.